Welcome back, everyone. It's time! Smaugust content is upon us. So first things first, I want to give an explanation about this piece real quick before I go into my plans for August uploads. Okay, so you remember that Strathmore hot press paper I showed y'all in my unboxing video? Well, this is it. I felt ready to move on to higher quality paper than I had been using in the Pokemon videos, and holy heck, I'm glad I started with that crappy paper because it really did give me a good reference point for appreciating the Strathmore paper. The paint went on super smooth, and I felt like I could push the colors around with a lot more ease and precision than I could with the other paper. I also don't know if this was my imagination or not, but it seemed like the paint dried noticeably faster on this paper than the other one. It also didn't buckle very much. So as of recording this audio, I've done 4 Smaugust pieces on this paper, and 3 of them I did not tape down for a very simple reason I'll explain in the next video. But the pieces that I didn't tape down had the same amount of buckling as the pieces that I did have taped down with the other paper. So if you tape this Strathmore paper down, the buckling is very minimal. I also love the texture of this paper because it's hardly there. I know a lot of people prefer cold pressed, but for me, at least for now, I think I'm gonna stick with hot pressed paper because it just feels a lot nicer to work with just out of personal preference. So now for the subject of this piece. I'm working off a prompt list for Smaugust by, and I hope I'm saying this right, Lilu Art on Instagram. I'll leave you a link with the prompt list in the description below if you'd like to take a look at it and follow along with it. So the theme of this prompt list is tiny dragons, and the first prompt was Polecat. Coming up with the design for this little fellow was fairly easy since weasels are long boys and already have that wiry dragonish shape. I didn't want to stray too far from the weasel body plan or add too many things that might hinder this guy from actually being functional if he actually existed. So I was tempted to give him more ornate horns, but decided not to. I kind of imagined that he would have a diet and a hunting style similar to real life weasels, so I tried to give him dragon inspired features that might actually help him bring down prey. So he's got some big claws for hanging onto the backs of rabbits and some hard armored like protrusions on his muzzle to use for some good old neck breaking. His fur provides padding to protect his vital organs. As for the coloration, this is where I went more on the fantasy side. I had originally wanted to give him similar colors to a ferret, but then I also really wanted to work with some red, so I gave in. I almost stuck to red, yellow, and white with him, but I saw that I had some blue left over from my Pokemon paintings and just impulsively added that in for his fur very first thing. It was just there, and y'all know I love blue, and yeah, it happened. I also just wanted to say how freaking fun it was to paint the fur on this piece. That was something I couldn't do with the Pokemon pieces because, you know, Pokemon are so simple, there isn't much room for details like this. I can't remember if I've ever even attempted fur shading traditionally before, especially with paint, so I was a little nervous about it, but I'm really glad I jumped in and did it because it was easy and fun and oh so satisfying. Alrighty, now I just want to mention that I finally discovered the UHD setting on my phone for recording videos. I did not know that was there until I googled it, and as far as I can tell, it's a huge improvement over previous recordings. I hope it's noticeable for you guys as well. Once again, I did play with color settings a little bit in this video, and I also did some more involved audio editing, so let me know how everything looks and sounds. Like I said before, every screen is different and everyone has a different quality speakers and headphones, so if there's any major issues, let a girl know. I'm trying to up the quality of these videos little by little so I can give you guys some quality content, so if there's any areas I can improve on, I'd love to know. We are slowly but surely moving on up. So with all that out of the way, it's time to go over what y'all can expect from me for the remainder of August and going into September. I have 3 more Smaugust videos in the works right now, and we'll probably have a couple more after that. As far as my upload schedule for the remainder of August, I'm hoping to put out 2 videos a week to get in as much Smaugust stuff as possible. The prompt list I'm following for this month has 15 prompts, but honestly, I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish them all. I went back to work last month, so balancing that out with all my other obligations has been a ride, so I don't know if I'll have as much time for art as I'd like. But yeah, I can guarantee 2 uploads a week for the rest of August at least. The videos I currently have footage for are all the same format as this one. I would like to finish all the Smaugust prompts, but I don't know if I'll have time to do them all in watercolor or if they'll all have their own dedicated videos. If I do manage to finish them all, I might need to lump a few of them into the same video just to avoid getting too repetitive and so that these prompts don't fill up all of September as well. So I would like to get into some more mediums. I'm having a lot of fun with watercolors, but I know I need to do some other stuff like that Hemi gouache I still haven't filmed anything for. Oops. But yeah, I just kind of want to get into some more stuff with these uploads so they're not all watercolors. So for September, depending on whether or not Smaugust stuff runs over into it, I will most likely go back to 1 video a week just to be safe because, like I said, I'm not sure how much footage I'll be able to grab with work and such. So we're just gonna say 1 video for now, and if I manage to get footage for more than that, then it'll just be a nice little bonus. As you can see, the washi tape I was using did not want to stick to my desk, so I had to come in with some stronger tape to keep it down because that was driving me nuts to have to keep pressing it down. So yeah, that was a little frustrating. And now a new watercolor palette appears. Well, it's new to the channel, but not exactly new to me. This is a really, really cheap set I impulse bought at Michael's a long time ago. I think the farthest I got into using it was swatching it, and that was it until now. These are shimmery metallic watercolors that, like I said, are super cheap and also really transparent. When I was daydreaming about Smaugust before I actually got started on it, I thought it would be really cool to play with metallic watercolors. I did order some handmade metallics off Etsy, and they look like they're much better quality than these, but for now this is what I have to work with, and I actually didn't remember that I had these until I was working on this piece. So what you're witnessing now is me going off the rails here and doing some experimentation with this piece. The transparency of this set was kind of a double-edged sword because they were light enough that I was able to paint over details I'd already done and I didn't completely obliterate them, which was really nice, but on the other hand, it did make the metallic effect a little hard to see, at least on camera. Some of the colors were a little more opaque than others, as you can see with the horns and claws, so it did help add some more contrast to those lighter areas. And now to carry on with the trend we're going to have going on with this video today, I am now using some really cheap gel pens I got off Amazon. I wanted to try lining with the gel pens to get a bit bolder and crisper look than using the colored pencils. I was a little afraid of ruining it with these pens, but in spite of their bargain bin price, they actually did quite well and I was able to achieve the look I was going for. So this set has a pretty wide range of colors and includes some metallics and glittery colors, which are super fun. Really the only drawbacks about this set that I found so far are that it lacks browns, which is really bizarre, and also that some of the ends are not screwed on all the way. Which you don't really find out until they fall apart on you. I actually had one fall apart on me while I was lighting another piece, so you'll get to see that debacle in a future video. Now that everything is lined, I went in with the colored pencils to add some subtle shading and color shifts. I wanted to bring a little more color and warmth to the red. I thought it might be nice to add some of the orange to his mane as well and some blue to his body to see if that would make the piece a little more cohesive. I think it worked out alright, though I'm definitely no expert in this area. I started to also fall back into an issue I had with my previous pieces, and that was that I wasn't getting the contrast I was hoping for. I think, once again, I was watering down my paint too much, but I was kind of nervous about making things too rich and just ruining everything, and just like completely obliterating the line art. So I guess I'll just have to keep practicing to get over that. Next on the list of cheap art tools I impulsively used on this piece, we have a metallic gold paint pen I got from Walmart. I can't remember the exact price of this, but it was under $3, I believe, and I got 2 of them, one in gold and one in silver. I haven't had any problems with either of these so far, other than they stink really bad, but it's a paint pen, so that's to be expected. I only used the gold one for this piece, so hopefully in the future pieces I'll be able to find a use for the silver one as well to show you guys. But yeah, I thought this piece needed a little extra something, so I pulled out this pen and started adding some gold details to his scales, as well as a nice bold outline to make him pop off the page. I wasn't expecting much for this, and honestly I thought it might have been a mistake going into it, but when all was said and done, I loved the look of it. It just really made him stand out, and I can't wait to use these pens more. And we're done. As you can see, I used a Posca pen to pump up the highlights a bit, and now we're calling it finished. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me paint this little guy, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next one later on this week. Bye!